Serena Altschul has the story of a kitchen classic. My mother had this one. Whatever the edition, it's been just the recipe for 90 years and counting.
So is this your favorite day of the week?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it really is.
It's kind of our happy place.
On a recent Saturday in Portland, Oregon, the farmers market was a cornucopia of colors and tantalizing aromas wafted through the brisk fall air. What will you do with these?
We'll just break these up into pieces and then roast them.
John Becker and his wife Megan Scott are here to choose freshly foraged mushrooms
So this hedgehog is kind of related to chanterelles.
for their roasted mushroom lasagna.
I want to say 30 minutes.
And it's on $4.25. It's one of 600 new recipes in the latest edition of that kitchen classic, The Joy of Cooking, published by Scribner's, a part of CBS.
We know that more and more people are trying to eat less meat, even if they're not going vegan or vegetarian.
Are we just diving in? They've been busy trying out new recipes and testing old ones for 9 years. Delicious.
Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. So you were just like, let's pretend it doesn't have thousands and thousands of recipes.
Yeah, one recipe at a time.
We ended up testing probably 1,500 recipes from the previous edition. And as we tested them, we call them recipe genealogies.
For John Becker, recipe genealogies are also family genealogies. His great-grandmother, Irma Rombauer, wrote and published the first Joy of Cooking in 1931, after her husband, who had lost everything in the stock market crash, committed suicide.
So she didn't have anything to fall back on, and she had to be creative.
Not all of Irma's family and friends thought writing a cookbook was a good idea.
Irma was always wanting to get back to the party. You know, that was kind of...
She was much more of a socialite than a cook. And so I think when she wrote The Joy of Cooking, a lot of people were surprised because she was not known for her cooking. But she knew the importance of being able to get food out of the kitchen and on the table so you could get back to your life.
And something about the way she spoke to her readers caught on.
She was not there to be like the home ec authority. She was there to be that friend who is helping you through this.
That really resonated with her readers.
20 million copies later, it still does. Stephanie Kurzenhauser bought her copy of Joy in college.
It was a book that I not only got out when I was ready to cook something, it was a book that I actually sat in a chair with a cup of tea with and just read.
Yeah.
For the pure enjoyment of it.
And updating Joy is a family tradition, passed down through the generations, as the cookbooks are. Irma's daughter, Marion Rombauer Becker, worked alongside her mother, and then on her own.
Marion was definitely more of a researcher, a little more thoughtful.
It's kind of an archaeological getting to know them.
Yes.
Marion's son Ethan took over after that.
Some like lemon zest.
Now it's his son John's turn.
I had never heard anyone in the family say specifically, like, we hope that you take this book on. You have a mouthful of this lasagna, you're probably not going to be complaining.
At first, he wasn't sure he wanted to follow in the family footsteps.
Actually, was reading a passage from the 1963 dedication that Marion wrote that kind of changed my mind. I hope that my sons and their wives continue this book beholden to no one but themselves and you, the readers. Everything became very clear to me at that point.
She spoke to you.
I mean, you know, obviously not, but yes.
He also met Megan.
I was working at a bakery and I was talking to a coworker of mine about Joy of Cooking because I loved the book. And he said, well, didn't you know that the guy whose family wrote that book works at the coffee shop down the street? And I was just like, that can't be true.
But it was. And they both love cheese.
Yeah, didn't you say that I can get along with this?
I can date this person. He likes blue cheese. We're good.
They've been cooking and writing together ever since, inspired by his great-grandmother's fearlessness.
I still don't really understand how she was able to work up the gumption to do it.
And also her joy.
It's the joy of cooking. It's not like the preciseness of cooking or like the, you know, let's stress out about this of cooking. It's smelling pretty good.
Yeah.